What's up guys, Woo here, and I've been in two minds all day whether I do this video or not. This is going to be a very much a shit sandwich video, where there's going to be great, bad and great. I feel it's time to get off my chest, and I feel the time is now, and I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, drop a like, subscribe, all that jazz. But I'm going to start here. I'm going to start with a thank you. A huge thank you from the bottom of my heart. Over the summertime, I reached around about 2k subscribers, and YouTube gave me the option to put together a membership scheme for my channel, where you guys can again donate or support me on a monthly basis, and what that does for me and the channel, that helps me grow and evolve, and again gives me that little bit of financial support to again continue doing what I'm doing and hopefully shape the future of the channel. So when I first did this, I was quite pessimistic. I can't really see and understand why people would help, support, and again just be involved. I just couldn't see it happening. At times I'm quite pessimistic, and this I was quite downbeat about. But weirdly enough, I had an abundance of people get on board, get involved, say they want to be involved. I spoke to some guys who wanted to help me produce content, and donate as little as 99 pennies per month to me to help me become a full-time YouTube. That's the dream. That's my aspiration. And from the summertime up until now, my subs have gone from 2k up to nearly 5k. Guys, push it to 5k, please. I'm about 100 away. But anyway, I digress. I've gone from 0 to 18 members, which is out of this world. I never expected to have one person, in all honesty. And again, I'm pessimist, I know, and I apologise, but I never expected to have 18 people financially help and support me and help me grow the channel. And again, we have a great dialogue, whether it be on Discord, whether it be in my community tab on YouTube. I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Your support goes such a long way to helping me produce content. It seriously does. So guys, you know who you are. All 18 of you, I absolutely love what you have done, and thank you from the bottom of my heart, guys. Now, with that being said, let's go to the bad. Now, the bad and the brutal truth is that I have persevered with the Division for such a long time now. I'm a beta Division 1, and I loved it. Obviously there's patches of great and bad and good and great and terrible. I persevered, and because that's who I am. I've quite a strong character, so I do enjoy fighting through the pain, and that's just me being me. But I always saw light at the end of the tunnel. And what kept me going was the DZ, the Dark Zone, which I always felt was just so intelligently crafted, that gave me that tense atmosphere to keep me going back for more. And that's what gave me the emotional charge and energy to keep firing up day by day and just going back to PvP, and in turn going to produce content for Division on YouTube, which I didn't imagine would grow as much as it's grown. Nearly 5k again, guys, subscribe for more. Anyway, sorry, shameless plug. But I had such an emotional roller coaster with that game, but all in all was the love of my life, and it did feel like a long-term marriage. And then Division 2 came, and that was again more like the mistress. So there's some really good potential, some really good ideas with the game, but fundamentally flawed in terms of gear mechanic, building elements, UI interface, gear, talents, weapons, so on. We can just keep going. Invisible walls, yes. But anyway, the game has ultimately given me so much stress, so much anxiety, to the point where I feel emotionally, mentally drained with the Division 2. And you have seen in the last 4 to 6 weeks some real kind of diversity in my content, and why have you seen that? And I'm going to answer that now. Again, this is still part of the bad, and part of the problem that I have as an individual is when I game, I want to enjoy. I want to have that element of fun and passion in what I do, and I want to load up a game and just have a blast, and then in turn that gives me that little bit of optimism and drive to create content, whether that be for the Division 2, the Division 1 or other games. So my heart says I need to keep playing the Division throughout this emotional roller coaster ride, and I do, and I log on pretty much daily and I play the game. But ultimately what happens, I feel extremely frustrated and very disheartened with how the game is, and I thrive in going into PvP, and I want to go in PvP, and there's that, again, that push in the direction, or that pull, the lure of going into PvP and Dark Zone and Conflict. And when I do, what happens ultimately is it feels like, you're having an affair. It feels wrong. It feels absolutely unbalanced. And if you're not rolling with the meta, you are at a massive, and I mean massive, disadvantage. And for someone who's not great at PvP in Division 2, and that's me, in fact, I'm not even good. In fact, I'm not even above average. I'm below average. So you have to roll with the meta to succeed, or to at least have a chance. And again, they're so far above and beyond, and I've created some meta builds. I've gone into PvP and I've absolutely wrecked, and I've been far worse than the player I've wrecked, and the build has done the work. And that ultimately frustrates me, because I'm a believer in player skill does, or should have, a huge say in the work when beating another player. That's how I feel. It's all about player skill. And the Division 2, elements there are, and quite a few chunks of elements that are not. Now, I've got to that point where, as I've stated, I feel anxious, I feel stressed, pulling my hair out. I feel quite disheartened with the current shape of the game, and I have done since March 2019. So a full 10 months of PvP heartache. PvE I've continued to enjoy and thrive in, and really have an immense passion for delivering PvE content, and I never thought this would be the case, and it's highly frustrating, because again, it's a massive turnaround for me. So I enjoy doing PvE content, as before I weren't that bothered. Now I love producing PvE builds, but I know I'm at that point where my channel is at a point where it's becoming very stagnant, it's very slow moving, and that's because of the content. The content is PvE driven. There's a lack of PvP, so that frustrates me. I want to keep pushing, I want to keep growing and expanding, and again, guys, without your support, I wouldn't be able to do so. So I'm at a point of frustration. And then we look at the game's content. There's nothing happening for 2 months. We could say episode 3, but again, just historically look at what's happened in this game with episode 1 and 2. The content has been lackluster and has been completed within 24 hours. So I don't have much hope for episode 3. And the rebalancing of all the UI, the gear, and all that will happen in year 2. So between January and March, I'm at a point where I do feel quite stagnant, a little bit, again, destabilised in terms of what I do in my content. So when I started my channel, I wanted to produce content that's helpful, informative, of something I enjoy and I'm passionate about, and The Division was my kind of go-to. That was it's my favourite game. It's where I have a silly amount of ideas that I wanted to share, which I have, and then I went to Division 2, and I'm continuing to do so. However, the love has dwindled, the passion has waned, and that's because of the fundamental flaws in the game. And more people are clearly making this evident and obvious now, that there are balancing issues, no content. There's dev drama, as some people like to say, regarding Massive and Redstorm. That's the PvE PvP divide. I just want it fixed. I just want there to be a balance, and it's not a lot to ask for, in my opinion. And I'll keep pushing until it gets there. But again, in terms of content, there's not a lot happening for 2 months. So what do? I want to deliver content regularly. I want to deliver content. And yes, I will do PvE builds and silly, crazy, weird, wacky builds that some people say don't work, mate. You use the meta, that's shit. And some people say that. I'll just say I have that creative spark, that vitality of creating something that is magical, you know, and definitely off kilter. And that's what I do as a human being, as a content creator also. So that leads me to the great again and the good. And this is where, again, I need your support and I need your input, is because, again, I'm focused heavily on the division, and I will be unless year 2 absolutely falls flat on its face and it doesn't deliver like it's anticipated to do so. But I do want to play other games, and I'm a believer that I'm not just a division channel. I'm not just a content creator that will just continue to polish a turd and make it a shiny turd. I want to deliver content that not just helps me grow and helps me expand, it also helps me evolve my skill set. I'm fairly new to this. I'm still learning how to use a bloody laptop. So guys, you got to understand that this is a learning curve for me also. But I want to be honest, frank, and open to say this is the bare truth. Obviously looking at other games. That's why there's been a little bit of indecision in terms of my content. I get it, I understand, and that's because I'm testing the water. And I do want to give you content that I'm enjoying, that I'm having fun, and I'm a believer in I follow and I subscribe to the person, not the content. Good content helps, definitely, but the person, I have to buy into them. I have to believe in them, and I have to give that blind faith, like a football team. Whether they be right or they're wrong, I have got their back and I'll support them, you know, till I die. That's how I am as an individual, and that's what I want from the division. And also what I want from my content is positive reinforcement, and again just that engagement, which is again also positive and, yes guys, energetic. And that's what I do from my videos, and I hope you can kind of resonate with that in terms of my feedback and my commentary. It is 99% of the time quite enthusiastic and passionate and quite raw at the same time. It's not edited in any shape or form. I do not do that. I just ramble for 10 to 15 to 20 minutes, and that's who I am, and that's what I do. I'm not a public speaker, may I add. But guys, I have faith. I do. And this is the kind of the great shit sandwich scenario. I love your support. Your support has made or given me the impetus to continue to drive forward, given these dark and gloomy times. That there will be different content on the channel, and I just want you guys to support me and back me, you know, just like that horse at the Grand National or the Derby. You're there to give me the push, the bet, and say I've got your back, man, because that's how I operate, and that is how I thrive in my content. Anyway guys, here's to year 2. Year 2, let's hope that it gives us the hopes and dreams and faith that we have instilled in the game. And let's see if we can get to 5k in the next few weeks. I'm hopeful. I need some support, guys. If you're watching this, you're not subscribed, subscribe. I will love you. I will send you donuts. Send me your address, and I will catch you in the next one, guys. Love you all. Peace.